like that. So him being arrested isn't really like the shocker. It's him coming out and his, I guess, reaction to it, right? Because everybody's saying, King, you grew up privileged, bro. Why are you going down this path? Now he's talking about F the police, F12. So, it just,
4 years, T.I. and Tiny built the image of a perfect hip-hop dynasty. Family hustle, unity, love conquering all.
But now, their own son is tearing it apart.
King Harris isn't just rebelling. He's accusing his father of betrayal, dragging hidden affairs into the spotlight, and hinting at secrets that could collapse the empire from within. Tiny is rumored to be meeting divorce lawyers, sponsors are backing away, and whispers of explosive receipts are spreading fast. This isn't just family drama, it's the unraveling of a legacy. And the question everyone's asking now is simple. Is King reckless, or is he the only one telling the truth? The veil has been lifted on the Harris family, and what's spilling out isn't the warm, scripted charm of a TV show. It's raw, unfiltered drama. King Harris, long branded as the rebellious prince of Atlanta's hip-hop dynasty, has landed himself in jail, his mugshot spreading across the internet like wildfire.
But the real twist?
His father, T.I., the man who proudly wears the crown as King of the South, isn't swooping in with cash, connections, or even a late-night call to smooth things over. This time, T.I. is stepping back, arms folded, letting his son face the storm alone. What could have been dismissed as a reckless mistake is quickly turning into something bigger. The unraveling of a carefully curated family image, one built on resilience, reputation, and picture-perfect Instagram moments now cracking in real time.
Here's our issue with King. First off, the kid's a menace, right? He goes around... No, I'm serious. Yo, King, listen. King goes around terrorizing the community of Atlanta, bro. That's a fact, bro. I'm serious, bro.
From the outside looking in, the Harris family always seemed unshakable. They weathered reality TV spotlights, marriage rumors, and rebellious headlines, presenting themselves as a unit that could bend but never break.
But now, the glossy image is starting to fracture.
King Harris, long known for stirring headlines, has once again collided with the law. This time, though, there's no swift rescue, no discreet negotiations, no cash slipped under the table. T.I., the family patriarch, has drawn a line in the sand, insisting that life itself deliver the lesson. To some, it looks like tough love. To King, it feels more like abandonment.
And he's not staying silent about it.
King has turned his frustration into a digital battlefield, unleashing accusations that cut far deeper than rebellious posturing. What began as another clash between father and son has escalated into something resembling a coup. He's not just lashing out, he's challenging the throne.
His weapon?
Explosive claims that have ricocheted from Atlanta to Hollywood, forcing even veteran gossip editors to pause and double-check their legal notes. According to King, his father isn't simply guilty of hypocrisy. He's accusing T.I. of betraying Tiny, not only with women, but with men as well. A rumor that has lingered for years in southern hip-hop circles has now been dragged into the open by the family's own heir. Whether it's truth, exaggeration, or calculated retaliation hardly matters anymore. What matters is that King has torn down the curtain, airing the family's most closely guarded secrets under the brightest spotlight imaginable. And for the first time, even the Harris' most loyal supporters are left wondering what's real and what's performance.
Steve Sadar reached out to me looking to make a deal on behalf of T.I. and Tiny. And I told Steve Sadar that my clients want justice. So if the deal involves Tiny and T.I. turning themselves in and admitting to the crime that they've committed, then fine, we got a deal. But if it does not, then I would prefer to have the investigators do their work and to bring criminal charges against Tiny and T.I.
The most shocking twist isn't that these accusations exist, it's that they aren't new. For years, whispers have followed the Harris family, circling around T.I.'s alleged affairs. The rumors have come in waves, cryptic social media posts, side-eyed speculation, and the occasional flare-up of gossip. Each time, the family answered with a united front, lavish anniversary getaways, glowing Instagram captions, Tiny herself once writing, "Thank you, baby T.I., for everything. Looking forward to more memories with the man who's made all my dreams come true."
That was the image then.
But now, King is tearing that narrative apart, wielding the family's history as a weapon against its present. He isn't satisfied with being cast as the wayward son in need of discipline. Instead, he's telling the world the dynasty isn't collapsing. It's always been hollow at the core.
And the timing couldn't be worse.
T.I. and Tiny's reputation is already fraying. The couple has endured years of legal turbulence, lawsuits alleging wild parties, accusations serious enough to make VH1 tread carefully. Some cases have slipped away on technicalities, only for new ones to resurface under California's look-back laws. Old accusers have re-emerged, voices louder this time. Even Sabrina Peterson, once close to the family and now one of their fiercest critics, has taken to social media claiming she has receipts, hinting that the internet already holds the proof. T.I., as always, dismisses it all as lies and propaganda.
But stains like these don't wash out easily.
And now, King has added fuel to the fire, suggesting that his father's refusal to bail him out has less to do with teaching responsibility and more to do with keeping darker secrets from slipping into the light.
Royalty accused of drugging and sexually assaulting women.
Rapper, actor, and businessman Clifford T.I. Harris, along with his wife, Tamika Tiny Cottle, they're being named in a massive lawsuit.
Beneath the noise of King's online rants and T.I.'s public silence, there's a quieter war brewing. One that looks less like fatherly discipline and more like a financial standoff. Observers can't help but connect the dots. King's sudden fury, his willingness to torch the family brand, lines up neatly with what insiders say is a clampdown on his access to the Harris fortune. So, what's really going on? Is T.I. enforcing tough love on his son, or is he cutting off a loose cannon before the wrong secrets slip out? According to 3 people close to the family who spoke off the record, a strategy is in play. King gets frozen out until he learns to fall in line. The message is unspoken but unmistakable. Play ball, or lose your place in the dynasty for good. It's a brutal irony for a family that built an empire on living publicly. Now the threat is silence, exile, and control. Which raises the bigger question. Is King reckless, or is he the only one brazen enough to hold the matches near the Harris family's gasoline-soaked secrets? But the real twist may not come from King at all, it may come from inside the marriage that anchors the dynasty. 2 industry sources say Tiny has already begun quiet conversations with divorce attorneys and is shifting assets behind the scenes. 4 years, her loyalty has been near mythic, her anniversary tributes dripping with devotion.
But even the most steadfast partner has a breaking point.
Now, whispers are growing louder. Tiny isn't just exhausted by the drama, she may have finally seen proof of the allegations her son has hurled into the spotlight. And with word spreading that she's spoken to some of Atlanta's top divorce lawyers, speculation is rising fast. Is the hip-hop power couple on the verge of a high-stakes split, one that could make headlines before the year is out?
He was like, so that was kind of like he exchanged numbers, and we ended up meeting that same day. We went to a $3 cafe, we talked, and we kind of got to know each other a little bit over some wings. And from there, we kind of like just played phone tag for a minute and finally hooked.
Fans are glued to their screens as if this were the explosive finale of a streaming drama. 4 years, T.I. and Tiny were hailed as the couple who could weather any scandal, but now the cracks aren't just showing, they're splitting wide open. And the enemy isn't just the media anymore.
It's their own son.
King Harris has decided to tell the story on his own terms, and this time nothing is being polished, filtered, or neatly tucked away in post-production. Every argument, every accusation, every eye roll is playing out in real time. The world watched as father and son squared off in public, even grappling in a headlock at an Atlanta Falcons game. T.I. mocked his son with a taunt. "Boy, you can't do nothing with me," while King shouted back about being lied on. Tiny joined the fray too, casually telling the world her son held onto a pacifier until he was 12. Within hours, memes flooded timelines, turning private pain into viral entertainment. But for the Harris brand, the real danger isn't the embarrassment, it's the timing. Just as old legal battles were beginning to fade, new controversies are being ignited from within the family itself. Sabrina Peterson's long-standing feud with the Harrises is back in circulation.
Whispers of payoffs are resurfacing.
And King's social media tirades are being dissected not just by Atlanta journalists but by TikTok creators with millions of followers. The chaos even spilled into family rumors. One viral post claimed King wasn't the father of his newborn son. The allegations spread fast enough that Tiny herself stepped in, blasting it as lies cooked up by clickbait vultures who profit off Harris family drama. And so, what once looked like a dynasty holding strong under pressure has become a live-streamed unraveling, messier, louder, and far more public than anything a reality show producer could have dreamed up.
Trying to coddle him for. Let the man walk off, have some time to himself, sit down, soak it up, and come up with what he need to do.
This is no longer just about a son lashing out online or a family squabble spilling onto social media. The Harris empire, once propped up by chart-topping hits, lucrative reality TV deals, and the illusion of unshakable unity, is now at risk of imploding from the inside. King's defiant "I stand on business" mantra may have sparked memes, but beneath the punchline, he's staking a claim outside the family's carefully rehearsed script. His mother appears to be weighing her exit, his father has refused to play savior, and suddenly King's accusations about T.I.'s private life feel less like noise and more like a warning shot.
So, what are we really watching?
The reckless rebellion of a sidelined son, or the unveiling of secrets even the Harris family's fiercest defenders never imagined could be true. For the first time, even the most loyal fans are no longer certain which version of the story to believe.
Mistakes. I ain't had no daddy who'll pull up and get on my ass anytime. Things I did, you can't get away with.
I know that.
Tiny, the eternal peacemaker, suddenly finds herself cornered, forced to defend the family name or risk being swept away by the storm. T.I., on the other hand, is digging in, brushing off every accusation as the chatter of negative people who haven't found their blessings. But denial can't mask the reality. The Harris legacy has never looked so fragile. King isn't just throwing tantrums, he's staging an open revolt. With every post, every outburst, he's daring the world to peer behind the curtain, to see what life inside the dynasty looks like when the cameras aren't rolling.
And he isn't holding back.
Every skeleton is fair game if it helps him win the next round in this very public family war. The harder the Harrises try to polish the image, the deeper the cracks spread. Secrets once whispered are now amplified, and the public, hooked on the chaos, is watching closer than ever. The illusion of an unshakable empire has dissolved in a tidal wave of online meltdowns, whispered betrayals, and the kind of family warfare that leaves reputations bleeding out across the timeline. And here's the chilling possibility. King's rebellion could succeed where lawsuits, scandals, and industry feuds failed. It could topple T.I.'s reign as Atlanta's cultural king. Because in the end, the foundation of his empire was never just platinum records, award shows, or carefully staged anniversaries. It was family. And right now, that foundation is cracking wide open in front of millions.
How do you feel with, because now that the evolved T.I. is also the even more of a father T.I., because not only are you just a father, you have to be a father in the industry, because all your kids are in the industry.
Man, damn. Yeah, that's I ain't see that one.
Behind the scenes, the whispers are getting louder. Industry insiders say sponsors are backing away, hesitant to link their brands to a dynasty on the verge of collapse. Once powerful allies are now circling like vultures, eager to feast on the Harris downfall. In label boardrooms, the question isn't whether T.I. can bounce back. It's whether the King of the South brand has already gone toxic. Publicists are working overtime, drafting NDAs and bracing for impact, while loyalists privately wonder if even they can withstand the storm. Because this time, the threat isn't coming from outside forces, it's coming from the heir to the throne himself. King Harris, for better or worse, has mastered the art of holding an audience hostage. His cryptic promises of what's next, his taunts about untold secrets, have turned every post into a ticking time bomb. A former road manager even admits that whenever King goes live, the Harris inner circle goes silent, waiting to see which scandal will explode, and which will simply drip more poison into the well.
The stakes couldn't be higher.
Sources close to the family say the real fear isn't what King has already revealed, but what he might still be sitting on. Rumors of tapes, texts, or hard receipts swirl through industry circles, raising the possibility that the chaos we've seen so far could be just the opening act. While T.I. and King clash in the spotlight, Tiny lingers at the center of the storm. Quiet, watchful, every emoji and subtle post treated like a clue in a mystery. For years, she's been the family's fixer, the peacemaker who stitched wounds with patience and soft captions. But this time, her silence feels less like grace and more like strategy. Maybe even surrender. When rumors about King's paternity erupted, it wasn't T.I. rushing to defend the family's honor. It was Tiny. Her post dismissed the chatter as lies and called out the clickbait merchants who thrive on Harris family drama. But beneath the defense, questions linger. Was she siding with her son, her husband, or just protecting the last remnants of family dignity? Her recent moves suggest exhaustion. The cryptic posts, the skipped events, the shrinking public presence, it all hints at a woman no longer eager to play referee. Two insiders close to Tiny say she's weary of fighting the same battles, weary of carrying a marriage and a brand that constantly teeter on the edge of scandal.
And then there's the legal chatter.
One prominent Atlanta attorney, known for handling celebrity divorces, claims Tiny's team has quietly explored options since before King's arrest ever hit the headlines. Whether that means an exit plan or just preparation remains unclear. But in a marriage once branded as forever, Tiny's silence now carries the weight of 1,000 unspoken truths. If this really is the endgame for the Harris family's on-screen empire, it's not ending with silence, it's ending in fire. King continues to stoke the chaos, turning every public appearance into a showdown, clapping back at critics, and teasing that the whole story has yet to be told. Each post adds fuel to the blaze, birthing fresh rumors and pushing the family further from the polished image they once controlled. This is the same household that once packaged itself as a story of unity, redemption, and love conquering all.
But those days feel like a distant echo.
What remains now is not a dynasty, it's a battlefield, and the rules are changing with every new leak, every argument, every revelation. It's impossible to overlook the role that reality television played in shaping, and perhaps unraveling, the Harris family saga. For years, cameras followed them from dinner tables to bedroom disputes, turning intimate struggles into scripted spectacle. The show was pitched as a celebration of Black excellence, resilience, and family strength, but like all double-edged swords, it cut both ways. Every quarrel, every misstep, every crack in the armor was magnified for millions of viewers. What began as opportunity soon became exposure without escape. The family wasn't just performing for ratings, they were performing for survival, for self-worth, for the illusion of control. Over time, the relentless scrutiny eroded their boundaries. Authenticity blurred into performance, and performance into identity. Looking back, it feels inevitable. King's rebellion against the silver spoon narrative didn't happen in private, it happened on camera, in real time. T.I.'s balancing act as both disciplinarian and entertainer unfolded under the lights. Tiny's attempts to glue the family together with patience and smiles became part of the content machine. Every confession, every clash, every wound was packaged and broadcast. But when the cameras shut down, the residue remained.
The resentments were never resolved. The trust was already thinned out.
And the expectation that every crisis had to be shared, judged, and memed by strangers became its own prison. So is it any wonder that the current implosion feels so spectacularly public? The Harris dynasty was built in the glare of the spotlight, and now it may very well be crumbling under the same light. Parenting is never simple, but for the Harrises, it's played out under the harshest spotlight imaginable. Many of T.I. and Tiny's choices, the stern words, the discipline, the frustration, aren't unlike what countless parents have said or done behind closed doors. The difference is that this family never had the luxury of privacy. Fame transformed ordinary parenting struggles into viral moments, personal pain into public spectacle. For the Harrises, celebrity wasn't just a byproduct of their talent, it became the stage on which their family drama unfolded. The same visibility that once secured brand deals, accolades, and cultural influence has now locked them into a cycle of spectacle and shame. It's a sobering reminder, when private lives become tabloid currency, the cost isn't just reputational, it's deeply human. Even the strongest families can be left exposed, exhausted, and unable to return to the quiet lives they lived before the cameras rolled. Ironically, this wasn't always the case. Beyond music, T.I. built a reputation as a savvy businessman, investing heavily in Atlanta's real estate market. And his reality show once stood apart from the genre, wholesome, even aspirational. At times, it felt closer to the Cosby Show than to the chaos-driven reality TV we're used to, offering a dynamic that seemed to balance the culture. But today, that legacy is being re-examined through a darker lens. Old episodes of T.I. and Tiny, The Family Hustle are resurfacing online, replayed and dissected for clues that might have foreshadowed the present collapse. Fans are split into warring camps, each pushing their own theory about who's really pulling the strings.
And then there's King.
His fiery outbursts have made him the central character in this saga, raising questions about his future. Will the controversy sink his fledgling rap career before it has a chance to grow, or will it cement him as the heir to a new, more chaotic brand of celebrity, eclipsing even his father's legacy? The industry is watching with popcorn in hand, speculation at full tilt. One thing is certain, nothing will ever be the same for the Harris family. And here's the kicker, King isn't out of ammo yet. According to multiple social media insiders, he's still sitting on a stash of DMs, voicemails, and video clips that could blow this saga wide open. Whether he actually plans to drop them or is just flexing for attention is anyone's guess. But the longer he keeps that threat hanging over the family, the tighter the tension coils. Each day that passes raises the odds of a new bombshell, one even Tiny can't fix with a carefully worded Instagram caption or a staged family photo. So the question is, what happens now? Has King torched the very foundation T.I. built? Or is this just another storm the Harris empire will weather like so many before? Will Tiny finally choose a side and let the world know where her loyalty lies? And could there still be one final, devastating twist waiting in the shadows? This story isn't over, it's just getting started. And with the Harrises, the next chapter is always the one no one sees coming.
So let's hear it. Whose side are you on?
What do you think is really happening behind those velvet ropes? Drop your boldest predictions in the comments below, and stay locked in, because the tea is only getting hotter.